Commissioner.
Faith Oliver, Youth Advisor? I don't know.
Member.
Member, yeah, whatever it is.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Padma Patel. PJ's fine. Let's see, I'm a lab member, a long-time reader.
What school did you go to? I'm still trying to learn.
But my professional credentials, and I'm going to get them. Okay.
John Stewart, been a member since the creation of the Library Advisory Board.
He has, actually, because I found something from 1979 with your signature.
I wasn't born then.
Oh, okay. That was 1999.
Yeah, 2 years before this was built. Yeah. I don't know, historian like Doris is from Russian River Historical Society, Sonoma County Historical Society, and lie a lot.
You make us laugh a lot. Arlene Jones, retired teacher from Guerneville School, and that's why I joined the board, because they wanted me to be a liaison between the library and the school. And I retired 15 years ago, but I didn't really retire. I'm still working about half-time teaching. And I go to the library. I remember my first library visit with my class when I was a kid. And I can still see the librarian reading the story, I Was in Heaven.
Yeah.
And ever since, I've just been in love with the library. And I joined not too long after John.
Yeah.
So we've been on a long time.
I'm glad to meet everybody.
Peter?
No.
Oh,
No.
you were waving.
No, I was waving at Pat Nolan,
Oh.
resident on the street.
I'm happy to meet everybody. I know there was a couple articles about me in the paper, but a little bit. I come from Florida before here, and I'm a list director of a 6-library county system in Martin County, Florida. My wife's a librarian too, so we met at a book fair in Mexico. We have a 10-month-old son, and he might be on the path of librarianship. We seem to love books.
Who knows?
But this is really the only thing I've ever done. I've been in libraries since I was 18. Worked all over the country, New York and Florida and Colorado. But been doing this now, it's hard for me to believe it, almost 30 years. So it's definitely a passion of mine, and couldn't be happier to be here. My wife's lived in California before. She lived in Sacramento. So she has some friends kind of in the area. But I've always wanted to live in California, so I finally made it. I'm looking forward to working with all of you.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, on to business, the approval of the agenda. Is everybody happy with the agenda?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, I love it.
School teachers spoke up.
If you look at in the minutes from March 12th, Section 9, it says that an agenda item was going to be the handbook, and I don't see it on the agenda, unless it's hidden somewhere.
Well, wait a minute. He asked for the approval of the
Agenda.
Of the agenda.
today.
You want to add it in? Because
It was supposed to be on the agenda.
it was supposed to be on the agenda. And we had it last month for May.
But we didn't.
Yeah, last month in May, we said it was going to be on the agenda for
Okay.
now, and it's not, that I can see.
Well,
Unless it's
I brought a copy, but anyway, yeah. We will amend. We can always amend the agenda. There's no
Yeah,
problems.
Yeah, because it was on the...
yeah. Well, no, it wasn't, it was to go on the agenda.
It was in the minutes, yeah.
I think
Okay.
it wasn't on the last agenda.
That was, yeah. But now it is. We're going to put it on.
5.3.
Yeah.
And what will it say?
What will it say? You have how do you want to phrase it? We're going to approve it or
No, we wanted to discuss the possibility of
Of a committee?
making, a committee for the handbook.
discussion of committee.
Okay, number 5?
Formation, 5.3.
I don't know.
2.4?
Yeah, I don't know if it's hidden there somewhere.
Yeah.
Should be
No,
under
this is my
So
agenda.
5.3.
My
It should be
agenda.
under 6, the discussion items.
Number 5?
Could it be under 6?
Oh, okay,
That's right.
6.1. Let's make it 6.1
Well,
then.
that's talking about the advisory
A
board.
discussion.
And the bylaws.
Yeah, we can.
That's discussing the bylaws. This has nothing to do with the bylaws. It's the handbook.
Oh, you're talking, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that should be on that.
So, as amended, is it any other changes? So as amended, we'll take on that agenda with a 6.1 item added on for the handbook. And then we still have the minutes of March and the minutes of May to formally approve of.
I have two comments on March.
You have comments, March, okay. So that's fine. Go ahead.
Well, we have
Oh, no, in
For
section-
March?
In March, under the section 8, the discussion items, in the very last paragraph, and it's the third line from the bottom, I think that there's an S that doesn't belong there. To have a book donation drive, not drives.
You have to decide whether it's singular or plural.
Well, if you have a book, yeah, it's
Either way.
singular, not, yeah, it's conflicting.
And
Do we want to have book donation drives where teens, or do we want to have a book donation drive?
I'm not seeing that in section 8.
It's the third sentence from the bottom, just above reports.
Yeah, have a book donation drives where teens can participate.
Book donation drives.
I think we should just make it a
A
drive.
book donation drive, yeah. So we want to change it to singular?
Yes.
Okay.
It's noted.
Singular.
And one other correction.
I didn't get a copy of the March one. Nancy, do you have an extra copy of the
Here, you can have this. She's cut.
Oh,
I have a question, Peter. We were supposed to meet too, all of us on that committee, and we didn't.
Yes, and you didn't.
Oh, I mean, did we lose that money?
I don't know.
That money was
We can
going
ask.
to be having to be spent by May or June, I thought.
I thought so too, but
Did we lose
Right,
it?
whatever the Library Advisory Board did not spend by the end of the fiscal year does not carry over to the next one, but I think that the commission, which I had hoped we would be talking about this soon, I believe that they're going to continue to give each Library Advisory Board $500 in the next fiscal year, but we have not discussed it or have not followed up on finding out how the money was used. So that's something that's not on the agenda, but you might want to at least document what you used.
yeah, we still want to have the committee
Yeah.
meet and have a plan.
Plan something, yeah.
It'll,
Did you use any of the money from last, the 500? Nothing?
no.
No, because we didn't have a quorum, we couldn't decide what to do.
Okay.
We were
Next
supposed to
time.
meet in between meetings
Yep.
too.
Where's the S supposed to go?
Oh, yeah, right there.
Just could I ask a follow-up question on that? In the general budget, is it still approved for this year, fiscal year's budget?
I believe it is, but
Okay.
I believe it's ongoing, but the commission, last year was the first year, it was a short time, it wasn't for the whole 12 months because it came in late in the year as a decision. So, yeah, commission still needs to talk about it.
And even if you go over a fiscal year end, a lot of places can still spend the money from the prior budget if it was authorized, which it was. But
I don't think so.
Gone.
got it. Okay.
Now, every year, whatever you haven't spent goes
in the
back.
general fund.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a new sum
Okay.
gets
Okay.
distributed.
And then under the River Friends of the Library report, there's a word missing.
What word?
Over there.
Table over there. Let me borrow it back for a second. The Friends of the Library report
It should read, Bruce reported that the quarterly newsletter was
sent out.
yeah.
Okay.
Doris is a retired teacher as well as volunteering all around
Have
town.
you-
You can tell, right?
Along with
Have you got that,
Martha
Nancy?
and Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. She reads carefully and always has everything is correct.
Any other comments on the March minutes?
It's of the same nature.
Yeah, okay.
On, pages aren't numbered, but I guess it's the last page up on top, the second paragraph.
Yeah.
Where it says, in the middle where it says, but the new JPA will change this and the commission can do that. themselves, that sentence was a little unclear to me. So it would mean the JPA will change that so that the commission can do it?
Referring to,
Oh, about the 186
Oh, the
The
second
second paragraph,
paragraph.
it's a very, very long sentence, so it's
Right.
starting at the beginning of the sentence.
Currently, a tax measure needs to be approved by Board of Supervisors, but the new
The
JPA.
JPA will change it so that
They-
the commission.
right, and it has changed it, that the commission can
Yes.
do a ballot
We'll
tax
change
measure
that.
if they
This is
have a
on the
two-thirds.
No, to change this, that's okay.
Oh.
So do you want to change the wording or just
Yeah,
leave it?
just the "and" should say "so that."
Okay, sorry.
And in
Have
the
you got-
following,
No.
in the following paragraph,
So we're in the second paragraph of the last
Mine
page.
came in the mail.
The commission is looking.
the third line down, it says "this and the commission." It should say "this so that the commission."
This instead of and.
Then in the
Oh,
paragraph
I don't even
after
talk
that,
about the J.
the lab members had a few questions. I want to know, what about this for Monday hours? At least 2 more years of being closed on Mondays with the current funding. Does the Sonoma County Library fundraise? No, the foundation does that. The foundation does the fundraising. I wasn't sure what foundation, probably because of my newness,
Oh.
we were referring to.
It's a library foundation,
So it's just say the library foundation.
right.
So where are
And they
we?
do fundraising for a
The
library program.
foundation.
Oh, okay.
Put library in front of foundation.
There you
And
go.
they, I believe they meet at
Perfect.
Central, and they, once a month or so. That's when their meetings are.
So I have questions about who that is, but I don't
Right,
know that
because
now.
the library itself can only raise, well, we can get grants and things like that, apply for grants and certainly receive donations. But otherwise, the primary source of income is the property taxes.
Mhm. So the library foundation does which part?
They can do fundraising to fund programs and rather like the Friends groups do for each branch, but the foundation does it for the whole system.
Traditionally, like, library foundations have, done things like plan giving, going after just really big
Big things.
sums.
Oh, okay.
Somebody leaves $1 million bequest to the library.
Right.
Since it's nonprofit, people will go that route so that.
But that
they're
If they get a tax
taxable
deal.
for that.
Yeah, that tends to not really happen with our
It's going to,
foundation.
though.
The foundation funds.
Welcome aboard.
So,
The books
because I have a
and the- oh,
suggestion,
And then Friends. can do it.
remodeling stuff.
Money through book sales and that.
Yeah.
More grassroots.
Well, I'm not sure what to say, but this little paragraph, in the beginning, the little paragraph is discussing restoring Monday hours. And then it says, at least 2 more years of being closed on Monday with the current funding. Well, that's perfectly clear. Then it says, does the Sonoma County Library fundraise? No, the foundation, this library foundation does that. Seems to me, it's a little, just in terms of minutes, it's a little unclear what the,
Yeah, it probably was somebody asked a question during that part of the
Mhm.
meeting, and so that was added in. So,
Yes.
do you want that taken out?
I can-
or-
maybe you should say, does the Sonoma County Library fundraise for things like increasing hours?
And so the answer
Answer.
should be no.
No, the Library Foundation.
Okay.
No, but the Library Foundation doesn't fundraise for
Yeah,
that?
they wouldn't do
Yeah,
it.
see, so this is a little confusing in this paragraph.
Right, I guess if you look at the question about
Yeah.
fundraising, it's not something the library does except through grants and,
SCO, yeah, it doesn't really fundraise.
So maybe you should just say, does the Sonoma County Library fundraise? No, period. Because then it says the foundation does that, which then confuses one
right. So
about,
the foundation, people might think the foundation could
yeah,
do fundraising for increasing staff and
yeah,
those kinds of
seems
services.
the
So are we crossing
implication.
that out?
I don't know.
Okay.
Cross it out?
Seems the implication from the paragraph that the library foundation is able to fundraise to increase the Monday hours. That seems to be what we're talking about. No, I'm just
Okay,
saying,
so
so
I
that's
just
why
crossed it
I'm
out, that's
confused.
the period at the end of that, okay.
I mean, people who've been here longer
Yeah, we know that,
understand.
yeah.
Right, and I think newer people, it is very confusing, the differences between the library advisory boards, the Friends of the Library group, and the foundation, and the library, and the whole money thing. 'Cause it took me, some time to learn that too, and I worked hard to learn it.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just say no, period, at the end.
Okay, no problem.
A little amendment.
More?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next paragraph, where it says, "A staff day was held on February 27, 2014."
Yeah.
It seems to me the next three items, staff received extensive safety training, Healdsburg is adding a seed library, and the new digital branch is in testing mode, are like three items that happened. Is that correct?
Yes.
So maybe it should be like three little bullet points. A staff day was held on February 27th. Bullet. Staff received training. Bullet. Healdsburg is adding a seed library. Bullet. The new digital branch is in testing mode.
Pretty much.
It's not really an error, it's just
No.
something you prefer.
No, it just made, I was just trying to read it and see what was clear to me and what wasn't clear to me.
The staff day and the safety training are one and the same, and then the other two items are separate.
Oh,
Right, they got safety training on
At
the
the
staff.
center.
okay. Well, I guess if somebody ever reads the minutes, they either will or will not know. I just don't
I
want to
can
feel like
do
a
it.
stickler.
That's fine.
And then in the next paragraph where it says the management team, it's sort of another item of clarification for me. I had no idea who that was.
Well, I think it's kind of generally understood in an organization that the management team are the people at the top of the administration part of it. So short of naming all the people on the management team, I think people could understand.
That's
that.
fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
The management team is
Pretty much
led by our director, and then it includes
mostly division heads.
people who are in
within the
charge of
organization.
sections
Yeah.
of the library,
Yeah.
like KEO's management and
Okay.
Okay.
but thank
More?
you for your detail orientation.
Well, I'm just not sure, like, when we go over the minutes and we make corrections, what the purpose of that is. If we're going to make corrections, so that anybody who reads it knows what it is.
That's why they remain a draft on the website.
Right.
It'll say at the top, and then once we approve them, I'll remove the draft, and then you'll know that the changes have been made.
No, it's absolutely important, because when you go
Oh, yeah.
back and look at the minutes a year later, it's like, what?
Uh-huh.
What did we talk about?
And they're public documents, so
And that-
for them to be clear.
Yeah.
That's right.
This has been 4 months on this one now, so, yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
Anything else on March? Okay, so March is approved. I mean, we're not going to vote on these things, but March is
I've noted
fine.
all the
Noted
changes.
all the corrections. What about May?
I have one correction.
Yep.
Under the library director's report, they're talking about the prohibition of smoking of e-cigarettes in the library was added and covered. It should be covered drinks.
Oh.
Yes.
7.2.
Yeah.
On the May 14th.
E-cigarettes. Oh,
7.2.
prohibition of smoking e-cigarettes and covered drinks that are covered.
Library director.
I know, wow,
Sorry.
okay.
Library director.
E-cigarettes.
Oh, covered.
Oh, covered drinks, I see what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, covered drinks are now allowed. Okay.
Drinks are
Covered with a D.
Covered.
Yeah.
The covered drinks are, open
You
drinks
you got that?
are allowed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Really, that surprises me, because I've ruined books by
Really?
I paid for it.
With a drink.
Did you get that?
cover on it?
Yes, the D.
A D,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't read
Anything
it.
else?
Yeah, these are
Small, and I think it reads through the straw.
May?
Too many.
Yeah?
Yeah, so in the next, it's the same kind of thing with me, since I'm new, where it says Brett Lear starts as director on June 2nd. I guess I thought it should say library director, that's the title.
It says starts as director.
Yeah.
As
Library
director. Director of what?
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just reflects my newness, I think director.
Oh.
Is he doing a movie? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You got it.
Can I just,
Yeah.
really quickly, now that I'm reading from the discussion items, now that there is a team member here, if we could just quickly bring that discussion back up?
Yeah.
Just kind of bring me up on speed on that, because I'm reading this and I'm kind of there, but, like, what did that discussion entail? Like,
The team, 7.3?
yeah. Or,
Oh, on the agenda?
no, 6 point, it's in the discussion items,
Oh, okay.
from the May agenda, from the May meeting.
Page 2 and line.
Here?
It's just, like,
Oh.
in there.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I
Team
see.
members
I
that
see.
have, okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of in
Gotcha,
there.
gotcha.
I just want to add, like, personally for myself, I wasn't here for the past 2 meetings because one of them was shortly after I got into a car accident, and then one of them was on my birthday. So I apologize for not giving some kind of advance notice. I personally don't know how to do that, so that's something.
Contact the branch manager.
Okay. Okay. So I know that for myself personally, that's why I haven't been here. Can't attest for Isabella or Mary Rose.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Try to be here more often, I promise.
We're glad to have you here this time. And we will talk about that outreach committee, which was going to be for teens
Okay.
tonight. So.
Okay.
I have one more comment.
Yeah.
Number 9, it says agenda items for next board meeting. The Library Advisory Board handbook, parentheses, discussion of creating the committee.
Mhm.
Should it say a committee for what?
To edit it, to put it together?
I mean, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
And then in the next sentence, the bylaws concerning the secretary didn't strike me as a sentence. The bylaws concerning the secretary will be discussed. The bylaws concerning the secretary position.
The bylaws are on the agenda.
These are just items, they're not sentences necessarily.
Remember, it does go back all the way to March, but we had changes to the bylaws.
Oh, I actually was here for those
So-
meetings. Yeah.
So they are on the agenda for this time. So that's what it was referring to.
Okay, so in other words, perfectly fine, and it's perfectly fine with me if it is. The Library Advisory Board handbook discussion of creating a committee is clear enough for Wednesday.
For the handbook and for the bylaws, the question that we were trying to resolve and put on the agenda was whether we should have a secretary or not, and who it would be.
I understand that.
Oh, okay.
What I didn't get was that these indicated that. I'm feeling like mistaken,
Okay.
so just like up.
Well, I think you have a good point, and that's that, will everybody remember what the issue was about the secretary?
Well, I didn't think I would, so that's why I'm
Well, it
asking.
probably would be good to put that in the minutes, that the issue was, I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was whether whether you want to appoint somebody,
Yeah.
even though the branch manager does the minutes, but have a secretary for other purposes, like to do correspondence and things like that.
Right.
So,
Whether we needed someone in the secretary position. was
right,
the question.
right, so succinctly, it would be good to probably write out with that.
Can we say the bylaws concerning the secretary are on the agenda, like she said?
But what about the secretary?
I wanted the word position in there. That helped, that was all
Secretary's position.
I needed.
Right, that'll cover it, but yeah. But no, I think those are good points, because you do forget, what was it we were going to talk about?
Yes,
So should
that's
it-
what happens. I mean, now when we're here, everybody remembers. I was here for both of those meetings, but when I read this, I know in 6 months I'll have no idea what I'm doing.
So should it read
She should be
the
different
bylaws,
from the rest
amending the bylaws concerning creating the position of secretary? Or,
Concerning whether we need a position of
Well,
secretary.
amongst other things, we have the bylaws on the agenda anyways.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
one, well,
Yeah.
so do you
Okay.
need that one listed separately?
Well, we did list it separately. It's not a matter of we needed it or not. We
Concerning
did
the
actually say that separately. So in documenting what went on in the meeting, it's valid to be there.
But do you want to officially amend the May minutes to...
I think more important is, are we going to amend the agenda to discuss that?
Okay.
The position of secretary, you just say the position of secretary.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would do it. Okay. Is that it? Oh, here it is.
So that's it. Anything else on May's? Okay. You feel you've got all that? Okay. So we'll accept those. We have no members of the public.
Yes.
Margaret.
Margaret.
Yes.
Margaret is a member.
You're a member of the public. Yes, you
She
are.
wanted to meet.
Yes, you are.
Oh.
Oh, eminently so. Especially.
And I'm willing to express my opinion, whether you want it or not.
We'd love your opinion. Do you have anything you want to say right now?
I want to apologize for being late because I thought it was 7:30. So, but here I am.
Okay.
Right on.
Right on.
So
Are there?
We're on item 3 then, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need a motion to approve those minutes? Or
Not
just-
really.
Okay.
Approve it.
If we go around, everybody's quiet, and the note taker says she's got it, then that's approved.
We
As-
won't just-
Review and revise as appropriate, which we've done. Yeah, we don't need to vote. Are there any announcements on item 4? Anybody has? Gosh, we really do have a full board tonight. I'm really happy.
More than
You know, I need your guidance, Peter. I don't know where this belongs in the total spectrum of the meeting, but I got this email from someone in Sacramento that wanted to have half a dozen faxes or more sent to different members of a committee to support a budget item for $8 million for the California Library Services Act. Now, was I the only one that got that?
No, I got it.
You got it too?
That was from David Dodd about
Yeah.
the budget and he asked us to pass it on.
Okay. Well, I did, as I was told. And then it occurred to me that I cut and pasted it, really, for all of them, and then took them down to the local place and had them faxed. But I signed it, my name, Lab, Guerneville branch. Now, I don't know whether that was...
That is meaningful to somebody, LAB, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the place to bring that up is advisory board items.
Okay.
So for members of the advisory board,
Good.
it's item 8.
Because I'd like to know more
Bring
about
up
what the heck that
things,
was all
we can
about.
discuss
Yeah.
it there. So
I-
David Dodd memo.
I also have a question, since I'm not sure where it would go
Okay.
under this. I was recently at the incredible Seattle Maine Public Library.
Oh.
That's
Oh.
nice.
Amazing what you can do with Bill Gates giving you a few dollars, right? Oh.
And Boeing
And
and-
Boeing. And I brought back something that I wanted to find out if we have it at the main branch or at any of the branches. And I don't know where to bring it. I don't know where, does it go on an agenda? Does I
Well,
just blab about it?
These are individual member ideas or things that they want to bring forward, and that's what this item 8 is for. Because that's
Item
asking for,
8.
do the
Okay,
members
yeah.
of the lab have anything they want to bring up to everybody's general attention?
Okay.
While
I
you've got,
noted it, though.
Thank you.
yeah, so that's the, and so what would we call that? Well,
Seattle Public?
Reports?
A question about library services.
library service, okay. I just want to know when we're down to that point that I
Okay.
can say, Linda, you wanted to say something about that. And okay, so no other announcements of anything. So let's move in then to action items, because you sent out the bylaws, right?
Right.
Yeah, so everybody should have a copy of the bylaws. And you want to go over the amendments that were made?
Unless Blessing did this last week.
I didn't bring my copy over. So, no, I'll use your book.
No, I think this a while ago.
Was the last revision from November. Is that?
Was that where we discussed the youth membership?
Yes, yes.
So these are unapproved. I mean, we're...
This is unapproved, yes.
And we-
Yes.
From November. No, or they just printed in.
No, I think we actually just revised them.
Yes, they've been revised in July, right?
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, November 30th.
They are revised beyond November, is what Robin's saying.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
We had a special meeting.
That's right.
Yeah, 11th.
The revision was about including Bruce. They had the president of St. Rena as a member. I think that was in November.
The River Friends of the Library is there. And
Not swear to that.
are you saying we've approved that at some point?
We did.
We did.
We did. Yes or no, we did approve that.
But the red mark on page 2, or 3.
3.
Yeah, that's about the...
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the youth membership. We were expanding it to allow all three.
Oh, yeah.
At least one, yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's...
So that's,
Yes.
we're approving.
We thought we had a copy, but they weren't.
Yes.
Actually, only 2 or 3 pages.
Don't have any more?
And I know we went around and around on the secretary thing, but did we
There
really
was
ever?
no quorum last time when we talked about this.
That's
right?
why we didn't,
Yeah.
we didn't propose anything for this. So the only thing that we have to change to actually vote on is the at least one instead of just one, which allows 3.
Did they make these changes?
Is that correct?
I move to approve.
Do I hear a second? You want to
No,
discuss that?
no, I have a question.
Okay.
I wanted to know, my copy, I have made some changes on my copy and pen, and I don't know whether it's been revised since then or not. Like under G, adjournment,
Yeah.
I have less is crossed out and it says fewer. Does yours say that?
No.
Less than a quorum makes
I
those.
guess I went over it.
We talked about it, but we actually didn't.
And then in the next section, there's a word missing, I guess.
Where are you looking?
I'm on
Item
the front
D.
page.
Under meetings?
Under notification of absence.
on the
When a member
first?
is absent for 2 consecutive meetings.
Oh.
Should
Yeah.
be for 2 consecutive.
D.
Absent 2 consecutive meetings.
It's absent for 2 consecutive meetings, you should read.
We're on the front page.
Do you want to propose that we put in the 4?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the one before that, instead of less, I put in fewer. I mean, these are just
Fewer,
the things I did. I don't...
We discussed them last time, yes.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
Fewer.
yeah.
Where are we?
On item D, adjournment, fewer than a quorum may so adjourn.
Page 2?
No, page 1.
1.
Page 1.
Item D.
Changing less to.
Meetings, item D, adjournment, last sentence, changing less to fewer.
Oh, okay.
Item E, 4th line in, is absent 2 consecutive meetings, is absent for 2 consecutive meetings. So these are things that we're here to approve. That one change for certain on the membership on the 3rd page.
Which is in red.
Yes, of going from saying 1 member to at least 1 member.
Right.
That's there. We'll also be approving anything that we hand change.
Can I make another suggestion?
Yes.
On my copy, the margin of the text, under F is indented and the others aren't indented.
Is it indented there properly?
No, it shouldn't be indented.
No, see-
All the others are
see,
together.
Oh.
Follow the format.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
So-
on the last page, Under
Okay.
committees, if you're going to put a semicolon after one and periods after the other, they should all be semicolons. Section 1, 2, and 3 should all have standard
Oh,
punctuation at the end.
So section-
Okay, on mine, they do have semicolons.
No.
Oh, they have
One is
colons.
period, one is
Appointments.
colon.
Section 1 appointments needs a semicolon. No, a colon? A colon?
Either a colon
colon.
or a period, but colon, I don't, it doesn't matter. They should all be the same.
They should all be the same.
Yeah.
Consistency, even if
I
you're wrong,
think
be
they should be a
consistent.
colon.
There really doesn't need to be anything there at all.
No.
No,
That's true.
so take it out.
Okay, we'll
That's a good point.
take punctuation out.
Dot, 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 dot.
On page 3, under committees, Doris is suggesting that after appointments, meetings, and committees, just remove the punctuation or the colon or the period.
Yes.
It just needs to be consistent.
Okay.
That's all.
Just remove the punctuation.
Yeah, be consistent.
Okay.
Got those, Nancy?
Yes.
Okay. So, because this is what we're going to move to approve or disapprove, or continue to modify. Any other proposed modifications?
Well, I have a question.
Yes?
Since I don't believe we had any of the youth members here when we talked about this, might we want to hear from the youth member about what we're saying about youth leadership?
About
Youth
Under
membership.
the
about
membership one.
youth membership.
Youth position. Yeah.
I feel like that's fine. I think it'll be easier to have more than one rather than just one because of the recent, there's 3 of us, and for the past 2 meetings, the 3 of us haven't been here. So I feel like it's better to have more than one, because if one can't be there, then you won't have a voice at all. So I feel like it's better having more than one. I feel like this bylaw,
When we had discussions about it, one of the balancing negatives is that with 3 members, and if the attendance, we missed last time because we didn't get a quorum. It's not the team's fault. I mean, half the group wasn't here. So we didn't have a quorum last time.
Right.
And so there is the downside of having the more members we have
yeah.
nominally, unless they're going to attend regularly, it becomes
Yeah.
a problem.
Right.
Because then we
Right.
can't take action.
I mean, obviously I'm kind of new to this, and you all have a lot more experience than I do. But I mean, I think it's better, personally, I think it's better to have at least 2. I mean, maybe not 3, but have at least 2, because I mean, now there's only 1, because both of the other girls graduated now. So now it's only me. But I feel like having at least 2 rather than just 1 would be better. Just that way you kind of have like an alternate.
I think we, in general, agree. That's why we
Yeah.
raised it to any number, basically. So.
Good.
Well, it is a different issue to have 1 member and an alternate than to have 2.
I think she means
Well, I mean,
a
like-
voice,
Yeah.
at least a voice.
At least something.
Yeah, I
alternate
know,
might
I
not be the
agree.
right
It's just,
term.
if we think of it as 1 member and an alternate, that changes what we need.
But nobody's proposing one member and an alternate.
No.
No, I just kind of-
She just
Okay.
means that
As
at
in-
least there would be somebody.
Yeah,
If
there'd be
one of
somebody.
them can't make it, at least there would be.
There'd still be somebody here.
Mhm.
So on that subject, really quick, can you recruit somebody?
I can see what I can do. I've actually kind of got somebody in mind. I don't know if she can get out here though. But
It's important that she can attend the
I
meeting.
mean, I'll be able to drive people soon, so I can talk to her because she's like me. She loves to read, and so I don't know. I can talk to her and see if I can get her to join me.
Great.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do about recruiting somebody.
Okay, so.
So, do we have any other changes to the bylaws before we vote on approving them as we've modified them right now? Right, then now we call for the motion.
Wait.
Oh,
Do we need to discuss the secretary issue before we approve this?
yes, because that is, so what would, do you have any?
I just wondered if we needed to discuss the secretary issue.
Let's review what we discussed informally last time, which was,
Which was whether or not we actually needed a secretary as a separate position or not, or whether Nancy was really fulfilling that role for the most part, from the best of my recollection.
But technically, I'm not a
Yeah.
member.
Yes, correct.
Question,
Yes?
or just a suggestion, should say, we appoint her. Doesn't say that you have to be on the board. The board shall appoint a secretary.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely could be anybody.
Yeah, so
Is that,
appoint her.
So all the bases are covered.
You can't.
That's very interesting, I like that.
It
Yes.
doesn't work, John, because the secretary is going to take the place of Nancy if she's not here, according to this.
Should we have more of an alternate then? Like somebody who's there and then it's
Well,
like...
that's the secretary. The
Right.
secretary would take Nancy's place if you couldn't be here. That's what this says, anyway.
But
And I don't
also-
do anything outside of the meeting agenda minutes and...
Right, you don't do the correspondence.
No.
Right. so
But we
that's-
don't
it
have
says
any
that it-
correspondence,
But
so.
it says
Right.
that you might,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
But it
And
says it shall
Brett
be
had a
the
question.
duty of the secretary to
Okay.
take minutes of the board meetings in the absence of the designee, who is the designee clerk, and to deal with board correspondence. So I think that's one of the reasons the issue came up, was having
Yeah.
to do with possible board correspondence. And who would handle that? Would it just fall to the chair, or who?
Or-
You
or
have
we
this
can appoint
position in your
somebody, yeah.
bylaws, yeah.
Appoint, yeah, appoint.
I don't.
We could appoint Margaret.
The
Well, it
director
should be
had
a
a
member, it should be a member of
the
the
director.
library
I thought it
advisory.
had to be a member of the...
Yeah, I'd have to think about whether it's appropriate for salaried staff to be officers of the Library Citizens Advisory Board, because y'all are making financial decisions and other decisions. It doesn't seem
Could be a
kosher.
I don't think.
And Margaret had a follow-up
Not
comment.
usually done.
Okay.
Usually Nancy is staff, not a member of, she shouldn't be like a member of the board as well. That's not really what it's done.
Right, well, that she isn't.
Extensive.
Right.
Unextensive.
I think there was some discussion about, do I remember correctly that Doris might be the secretary of correspondence was required? I made that up. You made that.
Wishful thinking.
You volunteered for that one day. When she
I
wasn't
usually
here.
volunteer the person who's not in the room.
In your head.
So you better show up next year.
There you go, Ted.
I think that we should just leave it as is, and then that gives the board the authority to take whatever it says there.
Yeah.
And then not having a secretary, we'll ignore that because it says the board shall appoint a secretary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall mandatory.
I get that, that's why I pointed that out.
Yeah. Just leave it there, and we'll...
Should the opportunity ever arise?
That's right.
We find an ideal
Just
secretary, we
ignoring
can.
the fact that we shall appoint secretary.
Shall we?
I guess will, shall went out the window.
So maybe if you just change that shall to may. solve it.
May, I like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds brilliant.
Which verb? It should, so it may be the duty? of-
Yeah, the board, may appoint a secretary. Item C on page 3.
Okay.
No, page 2, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah, that would be
May.
great. Okay.
got that?
Just leave it
Okay.
rest of it as is.
Okay,
So moved.
anything else? So moved.
I mean, I
So wait,
Was there a second?
Do we have a
move
second?
that we approve.
Robin seconds it.
Yes. Hey.
So, all in favor of approving these?
raise your hand.
Any abstentions?
Right?
No, It's actually,
Unanimous.
it's actually unanimous, yeah. So there are no objections. Okay, so that's good. We did that. Got that done.
Any nays, any abstentions?
Then, next is the subject of the outreach committee to deal with the funding that has since elapsed, or gone away, disappeared. But we had on the table that we were going to have a committee to try and organize some outreach, primarily through teen communication and teen activities.
I remember that they were talking about, the other representatives who are now off, were talking about at night would be better, and pizza kind of party, something like that.
Right. And the committee was, the
Raise your hand if
librarian
you're
was
on
on
the
it,
committee.
Arlene was on it, Robin
And then
was on it,
the-
and then the teens.
and then the teens, but they're
so,
gone.
Okay.
by default, you will be on it. So we needed to authorize the existence of that committee.
Right.
It becomes a part of our structure then to have that committee. And if and when we ever have access to funds again,
You have the,
You do.
you have money
We
this
have,
year.
Yeah,
Okay.
effect- yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just don't have last year.
Right.
It's just last year's. Well, okay.
We don't now have $1,000, we still have
You have
$500.
And so what, can we would vote then, take action, vote in that committee to be a permanent committee, a standing committee, with the charter to handle the area of outreach, community outreach, through, to deal with these funds, and with a focus on teen, but not necessarily restricted to just teen activities. Is that?
Well done, well
Well,
worded,
okay.
yeah.
In the bylaw, it is already a standing committee that we just approved. So the vote would be just to approve the members of the
Yeah, well,
committee. Would that be right?
Did we?
In other words, you don't have to vote on the formation, we just voting on.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. We don't, do we? Or we don't?
Yeah, I think we should.
I think there was never a vote to actually spend the $500 on the teen committee, and that's what was going to be voted on.
Oh, they were
Not
gonna
the
have-
formation of the committee, but the actual spending of the money
Okay.
on that purpose.
Well, and they were going to come up with a budget and a plan.
Decide.
Right.
So
Take it all.
I think we should incorporate all of that into this motion, that were you going to be on the committee too?
I don't remember that, I don't think I was.
No.
But I did mention something about was there
The
some
Friends would
discussion
help.
about the Friends would help
Yeah.
with,
Cover
We'll get
some
it.
costs.
will cover the expenses of food and stuff like that? Okay, well, you just call me. I'm sure that there would be no objections.
So who is on this committee?
Robin, Nancy, Arlene, and Faith.
Yay.
And just for your notice, is that section 2 on page 3, that the Brown Act covers standing committees and their meetings, so they have to be noticed,
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
and you have to follow Brown Act rules.
Right. It has, the whole point of that is that it needs to be a public meeting. You'll meet presumably in here, and it'll be a posted meeting with an
It has to
agenda.
be posted.
And the
Your
agenda
meeting
item
has an agenda.
primarily is the planning of spending this budget money
The lab
annual.
complies with. The 72-hour
Right.
notice rule.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
3 days.
And it'll be online and out.
And posted, yeah.
Because we can do that ourselves now.
And actually what would be, which the group, when they first meet, can determine that they should have a regular meeting, and since we meet every 2 months, you could meet the same or more often or
Decide.
less often, but you set up a schedule. That's also part of the Brown Act. You should have a regular standing meeting so that the public is familiar that if they want to go to this particular meeting, it's, every other month, the third Friday, or,
With the new library website, have you all looked at that?
Oh, I looked at that today.
Oh. Have you had a chance to look at it? Anyway,
there's calendaring.
as she pointed out, the branch manager can actually update the information on the branch's part of the website, so it makes it so much easier to put that kind of notice out.
Mhm.
I just think it's just...
Is it RSS feed support? Is that?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh, wow. Yes. Yesterday.
Oh,
Not
that's
yesterday.
Right now.
That is
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, it is very...
Well, that's Northwest. Let's show you Guerneville. And Bruce is flowering.
And according to the Brown Act, posting it on the website is.
Cool. It's good. It also has to be posted here on the door of the library.
Yes, there is.
Just like...
And that's,
advisory.
Bruce put the flowers out in the, I put that picture up. In the dogwood in bloom.
No. There was a whole committee that worked on it.
Did you see the plan?
I'm on
Yep.
the committee in my
And everybody's listed on there and everything's.
Yay.
Okay, so who wants to make a motion that we implement this new committee? You.
I make a
Ed-
motion that we
Ed-
implement this new committee to work
There you go.
with the teens.
You can second it.
Yeah.
Ed seconds it. Arlene makes the motion, Ed seconds it. Is there any further discussion on it? Is it understood? Okay.
Well done.
Then I'll call for a vote on it. All in favor?
I'm abstaining.
Okay.
One abstention.
Any noes? Any abstentions? Okay.
I would just, if people care, I just don't understand what the word implement means in that sentence. I'm sorry.
Implement.
It will be revealed.
It's all right with me to abstain.
Okay, so that's the two action items, and we had the one discussion item we wanted to bring forward, which was discuss, where is it? The handbook. And to have a handbook committee that could actually go through this, what is really a Forestville version. Is it Forestville?
Sebastopol.
Sebastopol version.
I repurposed
And,
Sebastopol's. I didn't steal it.
and,
It's not plagiarism.
No, and they don't care. They want people to do what they want with it.
now,
Yes.
this committee presumably would be an ad hoc committee, not a standing committee, because it wouldn't be regular and meeting all the time. It'd be a one-time shot, or a couple-time shot, to actually put this together, and then it's up to the group to make modifications to it in the future, just like we did with bylaws.
Oh, that's the thing I thought Doris was
And I know a perfect person that should want to serve on that committee besides Doris, but somebody who's good on structure and
I'll serve.
dots and I's. Who else?
Maybe wants me on it. Maybe doubtful.
This would be a good thing also for teen input.
I'll serve.
Yay.
They're all volunteering.
Wow. I'm impressed.
So Doris, Faith,
Doris, Faith,
You got it.
and
Edna.
And we could even have members of the public on ad hoc committees.
Yes, we could.
You know, there should be more than one member of the public. I'd be happy to help them.
Would you, Maggie, would you help us? Yeah.
Okay. That's probably,
Yeah, between
anybody
four
else
of
who
us.
desperately wants to be on that committee?
Yeah, that's why we postponed it, because I was hoping, and we have a lot of people here, that other people would be interested in working on this. We need to make it ours, and that's the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something we can work on online and then just pool our input.
Not online. No,
Okay.
in person. We can.
But you have a computer.
I have a computer, but I go once a week on the computer. I like being a good person.
Once a week is enough for emails? Yeah. Okay, so are we in agreement to...
In harmony, yes.
In harmony enough to put this committee together too?
Could we meet at the end of this meeting to discuss a meeting time so we can get together and work on
Get
it?
nods from your committee.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, Faith, can you
Where is
meet afternoons or something like that?
Depends on when.
Yeah, I know, it does for all.
I can do afternoons, it just depends on when the school's starting soon, so.
So
Yeah.
that's,
It shouldn't take more than a couple of meetings, I wouldn't think.
I have a question. Who's the audience for this?
This is for the,
New
this is
library
actually,
advisory board.
as I see it, for new members to the library board, and it explains who we are and what we do, but we need to make it personal, because this is not.
Well, and I think you would show it possibly to other LABs.
Oh, absolutely.
Within the system, because that's how we got this
You
one
can
from
post it
Sebastopol.
online as well.
Yeah, and posted online for members of the public interested in, and so it would be a tool for recruiting more teams or more board members of any sort.
Somehow it went that way. Now it's come back.
Do other library advisory boards have a handbook such as this, other than Sebastopol?
Well, we had the Sebastopol handbook was given to us.
But the others have a similar...
I don't know, well,
I don't think
Well, John, you probably remember, when I first came on, I was totally confused about the purpose, and Jan Gadati gave me hers. She had a nice thick book.
We had binders.
It was a binder.
Yes, yeah, I remember.
Okay, I do remember.
And so there is a history of this, but it was off in the wind somewhere.
It just kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
Well, as we had no money to spend, they
Yeah.
fell by the wayside. We weren't keeping up with things like that.
But apparently, it's not a mandatory requirement for the library advisory board, is that right?
Yeah, I don't think so, and I think,
It
I
is-
think quite a few don't have a handbook.
That's right.
And I think what Rebecca had been doing since Sebastopol did theirs is for new library advisory boards throughout the county, she sent a copy of the Sebastopol one to them, so they'd at least have some reference. But it would be great if everybody did what you guys are doing to update them.
I think it's a good
I
idea.
think the library used to have like a standard one, and that did fall by the way.
Yeah.
You don't need a standard one because all the branches are individual. I think you need your individual.
Right, but I mean, I think something has to.
Yeah, right.
And there has to be some uniformity, because
Right,
library advisory
yes.
board members do, some uniform kinds of activities that need to know some
Well,
of the same
I
information.
think that they need to have some background on the library too,
Right.
because some of them come and they just all gung-ho, they want to belong, but they don't know anything about it. And, I mean, just we've picked it up by being here year after year
Right.
after year. We know what the terms are.
Right, they don't know the difference between the foundation
Yeah,
and the
right.
That's right.
friends. I know,
And
it's
so
true.
it's
I mean,
like an
I kind of ran into
introduction.
the same thing as a new commissioner. There was
Yeah,
nothing,
right.
I had to dig
It makes
in
it
and find
easier
it
if you
out.
have that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But there needs to be some, I think, some input by management on this, because one of the things that is dreadfully confusing is this paragraph, county library advisory boards, under the structure of the library system, that we make recommendations to the commission and the library director on matters affecting library service in the regions they represent. So that's the key. I believe that's right out of the JPA.
That is taken right out of the former JPA.
And that's the key to our uniqueness, is that one tiny phrase, and that needs to be amplified.
Right, so as part of
strengthened.
your
Yeah.
looking at your handbook, you might want to look at the new revised JPA, because it has some more information about library
Does it?
advisory boards. Yeah.
I also think I would appreciate it if anyone who's interested would give input to the committee on these suggestions, since you're not on the committee yet, for example, but you have a good idea about
Yeah.
this.
Sure.
So when you get a date for your first meeting, you might want to send a global email out to all members of
Yep.
the board of when it's
Yeah,
going
I'd
to
like
be.
to go to one meeting
And they
at
can
least, yeah.
either send things in, or you're going to have a secretary on that if you don't do
Does
email.
everybody have a copy of?
I'm not.
No.
I'm not sure.
I have
I remember seeing it.
And then
No,
Nancy
this
can,
is the one that Nancy put in our picture.
I think you're right. Nancy could put that on the webpage too.
Right.
That once you guys decide how you're going to meet and when you're going to meet, you just ask Nancy to, or announce in some way, that you're going to be sitting as a board from the hours from 1 to 3, and any public comments and any comments can come in, and you guys just come into the forum room, and you sit here and you wait for people to show up, and if, to give you comments about, and to discuss the whole issue. So that's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out when we talk. I mean, one of us, I don't care, it could be me, could be a contact email person where people could submit it, then I could print it out and bring it to a meeting or something like that.
Yeah.
Also in my trails of finding things in the office, I found a book called the Library Trustee Handbook. And at the very top, I know that there's one in the office, in your office, but in the director's office, but it's for the boards, the library advisory boards, because I thought it was for the commission, but it's really not. It's for they call them trustees in other communities. Yeah, and the cool thing is it shows like all the law, and it's provided from the state of California, the California Library, so I can give that to you. So that can kind of give you the structure behind, way behind it, I'll
Is
give that
that
to you.
the same as the one that's gone by the wayside that keeps getting referred to?
Well, this is probably one created at the state level,
It is.
right?
Right,
To
yeah.
give guidance on
And are you
forming-
sure? Because I thought it did deal with commissioners and the,
Oh, no.
yeah.
I can go get it.
Yeah.
Or if we could get a copy of the one that seems to have gone by the wayside.
I have that as well.
Great.
And look at the JPA.
Okay.
Okay, are we good to go on that?
Yeah.
We'll move on. With reports.
I'd like
Library.
to defer my report and let Brett give his report so that he can cover.
Okay.
I don't want to